Oh, just
Funny
yeah,
and
just
funny enough, the irony is that first stream was private for some reason. It was set to private, so we weren't actually streaming live. I mean, it was recording it, but it wasn't. But
stream.
now we're live. I'm here with I'm here with Marcus. How's it going, Marcus?
It's going great.
So Marcus is pretty good at SketchUp, but he wants to learn some new things, and I'm going to try to help him. And we had actually started this earlier, and I kind of screwed up. I had it set to private, so that's one thing. I don't know why they don't have. I guess I can fix that, but it's always set to private when you first start. Anyway, not to beat that dead horse, but we had kind of gotten this far. Let me go back and make sure I'm screen sharing, and I'll just show them what we're doing first, and and you can go ahead and set yours to screen share too.
Okay.
And then so can you see, let me go to my screen first. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Okay. So what we were doing was Marcus wanted to create this, it's a brush,
Yes.
and it's a good little test subject for a SketchUp class actually, because it's got a lot of elements in it. You know, creating radiuses and these little objects and placing them in the correct place. So we're going to see if we can create this thing in SketchUp. I think it's going to be an interesting lesson. And we had gotten this far, and Marcus's battery died, and then I realized the live stream was on private. So now I think we're on the right track. But we had created this radius, this circle. It is 2 9/16 was the radius, so it's 5 1/8, or 5 5/8, I guess. I guess it's a little bigger. Yeah. 5 1/8. Okay, that's right. And so what I'm going to do is we're gonna copy around. I was trying to find the center of this little node I had this little circle I had created. Oops, I meant to select the circle. What I did was I created a component out of this, because the reason I did that is because I want to work with it while it's. Why is it that I can find the center of it when I'm not trying to select it? Things are always weird, aren't they? So the reason I had created a component out of this little circle is because I want to work with it in 2 dimensions first. And then later, when we get them where we want them, then we'll raise it up, Marcus. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, and one thing we had done was, I'm going to put this on that vertex right there. So now it's in the right spot. One of the things we had done was we had created this inner circle, and we put the number of vertices or segments as the number of objects we wanted. Because I think if this works properly, I should be able to take my rotate tool. Let me see. I'm going to select that. Then I'm going to grab the rotate tool, and I'm going to select the center radius. Then I'm going to go up here and grab that vertex. Okay. Now, you see how it's going to follow me around?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to push the control key. Okay, that's going to copy it, and I'm going to copy it to there, to the next vertice. See how it's referencing that? And that's why I wanted to set the number of line segments to the number of objects we want. Okay, now, after I click where I want that to go, I can push my shift key and the number 8 for times 44. And boom, it copied that around the circle 44 times. Now, one thing we'll have to do is check to see if we have a duplicate somewhere. Aha, we did, didn't we? Okay. See, I deleted one. You don't want any duplicates on there. Yeah. What I should have done was copied it 43 times, not 44 times. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to cover the one that you already created.
Yeah, because you don't want two especially if you were going to 3D print this thing, you don't want like two overlapping objects, I don't think. It probably wouldn't hurt anything, but so that was pretty simple. So I think what we can do is we can try to do how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to get funky.
Yes.
This is going to get funky right here. You might have to manually this
Each
line.
row.
Would we try to do 5/16?
See, I got my ruler, and I have a. We will go.
16 look like. That looks like it's going to be about right. Let me just offset another 5/16, and then how many? 1, 2, 3. That's not going to get us like really close to the center, but it's gonna here. You're gonna in a minute when we start scrunching this thing. I think that looks like that's about the same distance. Like if I were to measure from the top to this center, that's 1.25 inches. Now, if I go over here and I'm looking at the picture, how far is it from there to the last circle?
To the yellow lines.
Yeah, like the yellow one, that one right there.
We have a measurement.
And we're just guesstimating. What's going to happen is you're probably going to have to redraw this thing after you learn how to do it.
Just the.
You know what I mean? You're probably going to have to play with it several times. And since it's not that, since it's easy, after you learn how to do this, it's going to be really quick to do it.
Over and over. Okay.
Oh yeah, because you saw it. You saw that first row was really quick. I mean, because I'm going to use the same component over and over. So we've already got the component made. Our little nubby thing. What do we call those bristles?
Yeah, that's actually the back. But I guess it follows the holes all the way through to the front. So it is where the bristles will go.
Oh, this is the back of the brush. Oh, that makes sense. I kept wondering, what can you brush with this thing? It's all flat and nutty.
Yeah, that's where that part gets covered by the whatever I decide to stitch there.
Okay, so how far do you think it is from the top to that yellow one?
Maybe an inch and
say a quarter.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is on our drawing. Let's just try that. Let's just do an example, and then we'll if we have to in another lesson, we'll redraw it after you say, I figured this thing out. Okay. So now what we're going to do is, how many objects are there in the second row? I've got 40. See, we're going to have to change our segment length because it's leaving it at 44. Well, unless that's the correct number.
38.
All right, so I'm going to change this to 38 segments. 38. Now, okay, we're gonna pretend like everything's okay and just keep going. So what's funny is, look, when I change that number of segments, or now that component is right on our, remember before it wasn't right in the crosshair?
Yeah.
So now I can use that one as a reference for my center, but notice that is the first segment. There's not a segment in the center now. It's right there. You see? You'll just have to kind of zoom in and see the flat lines. That's a segment, or that's a vertex. That's a vertex. You see?
Yeah.
See how SketchUp will kind of intuitively snap to those vertices. So now what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to take my rotate tool. I've already got that selected. I'm going to click on the center, and I'm going to come up here and click on that. Where is it? Right there. And again, I'm going to put my click on my control key, and I'm going to go around, 37 times 37. There we go. See?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, Tony.
So we're just gonna play with it here for a second, and then if after we do what I'm going to try here in a minute, if it's not right, you can always redo it, since it's not like you're drawing the Leaning Tower of Pisa or anything. So how many are there on the next?
Third row. The third row have 32.
Let me check to make sure. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't have a duplicate, and I don't. Let me try this one. Good. 32. So let's go to 32. Change that to 32. I'm going to select this one again because I know I can get that crosshair. And I'm going to zoom in to make sure I'm on that vertex. Here we go. See, we got that little pattern going. See, it's almost crossing that vertex right there.
Straight down.
So now, let's see. I'm going to copy this one. You go up and get my rotate tool. Center. Oh, I didn't select. Got to make sure this is selected. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. I thought I had it selected. Select, because it won't copy it if you don't have it selected. Click on the center. I'm going to push the control key and go to the next. Right there. What was 31?
32
times 31. I've already got the first one. That's what I made the mistake of doing in the first place. That's why I don't. That's why I don't have a duplicate one now. Okay. So we got this nice little ring going here. So now what? How many are on the inner circle?
The next circle is red. We did 44, 38, 32, 22.
22, half of the first one. Okay. That gives me my number of segments. See? So I'm going to copy. This one looks like it's in the center. And I'm going to put it right here. Okay. So it looks like we got a nice pattern going here, which makes sense mathematically. And I've got this selected. I'm going to select my rotate tool. Select the center of that. Click my control key to copy it. And then times Shift 8, 21. You just have to remember that once you copy it to that location, don't do anything else until you push Shift 8, which is times, and then the number. Because if you do anything else after that, it'll cancel that action and you won't be able to copy it that many times. Does that make sense? Like if I click there and then I click over here somewhere accidentally, you've canceled the command. So you would have to start over again.
What if so Tony, you can't just click on a circle and move it to the next segment and then do the copy? It wouldn't move it around the line?
Okay, so you're asking me, okay, I got that selected and I'm going to select the center and I'm going to go to the center here. And you're saying I can move it. That's just moving it.
No, I'm saying, what if I'm saying, why do you pull it select it from the center of the?
Because that's my reference point. See.
Okay, gotcha.
You're always that's the center is always the reference. Now I can't if you want to manually do it, you could just take the move tool. If you wanted to spend that much time, you could take it and push the control key and manually copy them with the move tool, but I think that's boring.
Yeah,
I like seeing a lot of production, so I'm going to go here to the rotate. And that's what this tool is designed to do. So I'm just trying to use the tool properly, So I'm going to go to that point, and I'm going to push Shift 8, 21, and bam. So there's our now. Let's just for the fun of it, I'm going to copy this over because I don't want to lose this what I've got. And I'm going to go in here now, and this is the fun part of this being a component, okay? Because I'm going to shift on that. How far do you think this would be sticking up?
1/4 inch.
1/4. See, now they're all popping up. That's why we made that a component. because now I was just able to select one of them and edit it, and they all did, they all changed. See?
Step going piece by piece.
Yeah, can you imagine? And I've made that mistake before. When I first started in SketchUp 15 years ago, I was drawing studs individually, like in the houses, and I was actually copying them around and, editing each one. And then when I figured out that you could make components, I was like, wow, that actually makes sense.
Huge time saver.
Mm-hmm. But so now what we're going to do, and this is the part we might not like, but how because it's going. I'm trying to decide if this is going to skew these or not, and so in the end you might have to manually place them. But I just wanted to show you a quick way to do it first. So
Okay.
how wide? So how narrow did you say this was? It's
From the middle point that I measured, it is 3 1/8.
so 1 9/16 again. Let's see, or that way, and 1 9/16. So what I'm going to do now is create a group out of this whole thing. Okay, and that way I can use my scale command. Okay, and this is how you make ovals. So you draw a circle first, and then you draw the width that you want the oval. I clicked on the wrong tool, and then you click on the scale command, and then what you got to do is kind of get here. You'll see these 3 squares, little cubes. Those are reference points. You want to be on the middle one because that scales the whole thing. That what would be the term? Dynamic. You just want to be on the middle one, because if you're on this one, it's only going to rotate. It's only going to scale it in that. You can't see, but it goes from here to the bottom of this one over here, or
Okay.
But anyway, in any event, you want to be on the middle one, okay? So click on
You want to
that.
scale it.
Yeah, you want to click on the middle cube, and you're going to bring it over. What I like to do is lock my axis by pushing the shift key, and then I can make sure I'm using that line as a reference. Does that make sense? So I did that one on that side. I like to zoom in where I can see, so I make sure I'm on the center, and then I'm just going to pull it over. Why is that not wanting to? Oh, I don't know what I did. I zoomed it to infinity, but I think what I need to do is go get that back somehow to there. There, I think
That's
right.
coming together pretty recognizable.
Yeah, and see, now it's not, and this is why I said you might have to play with this some, because now it's 3. Let's see, that is 3 1/8, and this is our original dimension 5 and an 8. But it didn't create that.
That's
What you might have to do is abandon the idea of being able to do a lot of production, which is depressing to me. But but if you created these, you would have to. Let's go in here and delete. Let's see, how can we do this? I think let's do this. I'm glad I copied this thing now, because I'm getting ready to delete. I'm gonna ungroup this. I'm gonna explode this group for a second, and then I'm gonna get down here. Let's see. I'm gonna delete. Well, just for an example, let's delete all these. And it might be that you have to watch the video after, once this thing becomes a video, you can go back and reference it. Let's see, let's leave one of them. I'm going to hit the shift key and unselect that one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, how wide do you think this, that center one is? In other words, how wide? That's not very wide, is it? It's only like a 1/2 inch.
Yeah, that's not. I think between each hole is from one hole to the next is an eighth. They an eighth apart.
Oh, really?
All of
that from the center of each one, or is that between them?
From the center of each one.
Huh? So that means I would only go a 16th. Well, that means they'd be touching though, right? Or did I make them bigger than they? You know what I mean? If I just went a 16th.
Let's see, from center.
That said at 8, 1/16. Yeah.
Yeah, from center to center, it's you were right. Was about a quarter to three, between 3/16 and a quarter.
3/16 probably sounds more realistic, doesn't it? So let me go this way, 3/16. Now I need to get that on top of the. How did I get on bottom of that? That's weird. Let me see if I can place this back on top. Yeah, okay. Let me get rid of these two. Somehow that's bizarre. I don't know how that happened. Is that the center? Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go 3/16 and 3/16. See, if you select the center of a line to reference it, sometimes it won't do a construction line. That's why you were having problems earlier.
It would just what is that other line called? It's just a dash line.
You can do like a what's it called? A node. Like see how I'm just measuring? It's the tape measure tool. So like right now I'm just measuring and it says 5/8.
Yes.
But if I click on that, it'll put a construction line there. But honestly, I don't know. Sometimes you'll have to play around with that. If you'll notice in the bottom right, or on my screen on the bottom left, it says select point, and then later on it says control, toggle, create guides. So you see how I'm not creating a guide, and now I am. You can toggle between not creating a guide or creating a guide. But anyway, the reason I was bringing this up is because you might have to manually, now I can manually just do that one. You might have to manually change each oval to be what you want it to be. The bad part is now we have to put these back to make this. Let's see, how am I going to do this? We got to put these back, but they're going to go away if I do that. We might have to create new. How am I going to do this? Well, it's not a tragedy. If I just create another one, this is why you want to think about the sequence of how you're creating it, Let me go ahead and create another. What was that? What did we make that? 16th? We made it an 8th.
Eighth, yes.
Oh, what the heck? I was still in edit. I was still in edit mode. I should have exited. Now I'm going to create another one. And I'm just going to leave it in 2D again. I'm going to create another component. This is going to be, I'm just not going to name it. I'm not going to worry about that. But I'm mad I have to find the center of it again with the. I wish this is one thing that bugs me about SketchUp. Why it won't just automatically reference the center of a radius. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that one right there. I'm going to delete that because that would look weird. And then I'm going to. How many are there?
On the inner one, 10.
So let's see. We know we got one at the top and bottom. Well, but let's see. One thing I just realized too is how tall is that little oval? We might have to actually edit the height of it. Looks like we are.
From tab to, it's kind of hard to distinguish. The middle oval is inch and 3/4.
So that would be 7/8.
Yeah, 7/8.
Oh, we weren't too far off. Okay. Now let's select that again, and we will shrink it down to there. So as long as we have control over our oval, it should be fine. You see, this is the frustrating. Okay. But see, I'm going to be mad at SketchUp. Okay, there we go. Do I have it now? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I do. Couldn't tell if I had the center reference or not, which is frustrating. Because I don't want to have to draw a crosshair every time.
You've got to find the center point.
Yeah. So that's 2. So then if we just put 1 in the middle, again, I lost my. That's 4, right? How would we, 6? Where's that point? This is what I mean. You're just gonna have to, because there's no. You see how these really aren't. Well, it's like these 6 are regular, and these 2. These are in a straight line. So, you see. You're probably just going to have to draw out your pattern, and because you'll have to just measure everything. You see, let's see if we come down there, and then we come, because I think what this is going to amount to is you're going to have to do some very detailed measurements. Because I'm not coming up with the same look that
that we have.
Let's see. It's just not looking. And I'm just kind of playing right now. You see what I mean? You're going to have to. You see, no matter what I do, you're going to have to do some really detailed dimensions. You're going to have to get. You're going to have to manually draw this thing because my attempt at this, some kind of logic didn't work. So I have a feeling that some designer just basically sat down in CAD, and he did to do this. What you're going to have to do, you see, because it's not even. It looks to me like, see how that was not really aligned with that one.
Yeah, it kind of just dropped in.
They're just kind of, yeah. It's like by the time he got to this point, or she, whoever, they just like, oh, screw it, I'm just going to put some in there, They probably did this and then realized that, they were going to have to,
make it fit.
Yeah. So the main thing we're trying to do is come up with a method. and then you're going to have to spend the time, because we could probably sit here all day, honestly, drawing this thing, and that would be up to you. You know what I mean? I'm trying to teach you how to do it, and then you'll have to put the time in to do it. So one thing, let's go in since that's the case, let's go back and screen share your screen now.
Screen sharing. That should be.
And I'm going to put it on.
Can you see mine?
Yeah.
No, you see me. See my screen now?
I'm sorry, I was answering. Let me answer a comment right quick. Yeah, let's see. Put your when you click on. Let's see. Let me stop screen sharing. And yes, I was screen sharing, and when I stopped, I can now see yours. Okay. So sorry about that. Let me check my OBS to make sure we're on your view too. Yeah. Okay. So now, what I'm gonna do is zoom in, or how can we get you to the point where you can work on this thing? Like what kind of tools do you want to go over, and methods? Do you want to make sure you kind of got it? Because this is going to be one of those things where you just have to put the time into. You know what I mean? Because I think you're going to end up coming up with a number of line segments and then a number of vertices, and then in the end you're just going to be placing them where you think they should go manually, unfortunately.
Just following your routine will work. Following what you did will kind of give me somewhere to start with, an idea.
And do you think you're going to eventually have what kind of, is this like a hard bristle brush, or what kind of brush is it?
It is a, let's see, if I come back to the screen, can you see my screen, not me. Let's see, let's just stop.
Yeah, anything you go to, we'll see. So,
can you see it now?
Oh yeah.
It's rubber based, so the base that it's not like a wooden brush,
right?
It's a rubber brush, so the same shape and everything. It's just rubber instead of wooden.
Well, that's cool. So you want to try to have it manufactured?
Yes.
So I was mentioning earlier, like there's places around here where you can take an STL file. Well, that's one thing I could show you, and they can do like the prototype printing. So it might be in ABS plastic, but if you send it to another company that manufactures things, you could say, this part's rubber, this part's plastic or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have a better understanding of how the shape and everything.
Yeah, they could just take the dimensions off of your prototype, and you wouldn't have to, spend 10 hours doing a detailed drawing unless you just wanted to. You could send them the drawing and the prototype, or you could just send them the drawing. In one of our next lessons, I can show you. Did you get how long is your trial of Pro?
Well, I'm gonna eventually get Pro. I still have 26 days left for trial.
Well, what we need to do is, because Pro, did it come with layout?
Yes.
Okay, so what we need to do is one lesson in layout, because that would be, if you decide to send this to a company, they're going to want a drawing with dimensions, and I can show you how to kind of set up a title block to where when you send it to them, they'll think, oh, this guy's a pro, They'll say, we got to take this guy seriously. Because in layout is where you do all of your dimensioning. It's your construction document software, And unfortunately, once you do all this pretty stuff in modeling, the construction industry still expects to get a two-dimensional drawing. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how that works. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was just joking along with your 2D. Yeah.
Yeah. But what we can do is, let me show you this. Let me go back to screen sharing.
Okay.
And once you get your model to where you want it, you want to kind of delete everything that you don't want to create a model out of or an STL file. And I think you would go ahead and create a group. And then, of course, it's been a little while since I've done this, but I think it's very simple. 3D model. Let's see, is it STL? Is this where you select STL? Yeah, right there, STL. That's the file type that you would export to create a 3D model that can be printed. Well, the STL file tells the 3D printer the layering and all that. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
So if you once you finish your drawing, you'll save it as the normal SKP, SketchUp project file, but you'll also export it as an STL file if you're going to send it to a company, or they may just ask you for the SketchUp file, because there are actually plugins. I remember there were some projects that I printed that I had to clean up. And there's another software that will clean them up, clean up the SketchUp file, and then create an actual STL file after that. Because sometimes the file that you get out of SketchUp isn't as clean as some of the softwares that work directly with 3D printers. That makes sense?
Yeah, like kind of like lines that we left or stuff like that, like this kind of offset lines or endpoints that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, and sometimes these faces, like these overlapping faces, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? I noticed that when I was doing all my 3D printing, I always had to have like a cleanup phase between my STL file. Honestly, I forgot what the software is called. I don't even have the same computer. I don't even have the same computer I had, so I don't have the software anymore, because I literally printed for months, like almost 12 hours a day, and I got kind of burnt out on it. But I think I got brain damage from smelling all the burning ABS plastic too. But I just remembered there was a process of cleaning up. Like, it's rare that you can go directly from an STL from SketchUp to the 3D printing software. I forgot. It's not Blender, but it's something. There's several different softwares that'll clean up. As a matter of fact, now I'm starting to have flashbacks. Let's see. Online STL cleaner. There was a cloud-based NetFab. Dang, I remembered. You can take. You see this right here, the way this hand, and that. You can send them, and they used to be a free service when they first started, like 10 years ago or whatever. Available login providers have been changed November 2008 to get your Autodesk account. Anyway, it used to be free. In other words, it was a cloud-based service. You could upload your project. It would clean it up and then recreate a new STL file. check and repair your STLs right there. NetFab. And so, not logged in. I don't have a login anymore, but what's weird is it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be odd because I don't see a menu or any. It has totally changed since I used it. But STL, okay, so 2020. You'll just have to research. Let's see, free online. Yeah, here's. It's probably all changed in the 10 years since I've been, since I was starting with 3D printing. Free online STL repair. But there's these services that'll take it might take hours, to get it back. But you upload it, and then it'll clean it up and do a 3D slicer thing on it. Because when depending on the number of layers you have, it'll create this files that's basically each layer will be the digital commands for your 3D printer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it creates a for every layer it creates a command line for how the printer prints, and then it'll just basically build those layers as you go. But what do you have any? And I wish honestly, I wish we could have got this closer. But I have a feeling after just playing with that middle one, and it might be that.
Well, I know we're missing this one line. I think it's 5 total. Well, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I thought we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh,
That might make it look a little, but the shape is already there.
Right, but I don't mean to be mean or anything, but I've done this long enough to know that this is going to have to be, even if I do this 5/16. It's 3/16.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now that you're going to have to do some manual work. You see, there's still a big gap between here, and what it is, it's going to be some kind of exponential spacing, like maybe 3/16, 5/16, 3/8. You're just, it's going to have to be like, now you're going to have to take this row and do the edit. You're going to have to manually fix it, So, and that's the work that you have to put in to do this kind of stuff, It's like we say in construction, if it was easy, the homeowner would do it. Okay. So it's not easy, and so it's going to take some. You're just going to have to play with each row. Line. You're gonna have to create yourself some reference lines. Now I can send you this file if you want me to send you. I can email you this one, and you would have something to start with or play with if you want me to.
I would love that.
No, I'll do that. I'm not trying to create work for you. I'm doing some work for the metal building company in Canada, and I got to spend about 6 hours on that today. So the later I start, the later I'm going to be up tonight. Because I haven't even started the animation on that, and I've got most of the metal building drawn, but then I have to animate it, and it's going to be treacherous. So, trust me, I'd rather do this all day, but I have the obligation to them.
Yeah.
So,
you gave me a lot of information again, Tony. I always appreciate it.
Well, I think it's fun, this kind of thing. I enjoy doing this. Honestly, I enjoy working with you better than, working for some, obviously some commercial company, because, it's more fun. It's more enjoyable. And I'll email this to you. This file shouldn't be that big. As a matter of fact, we'll just let me do it while we're here. Save as. What are we going to save this as? Brush. SKP. And then I'll email it to you. Make sure you get it. Okay, I'm clicking on. That was weird. Okay, compose. Do you mind if they see your email address?
Oh, I don't mind.
Okay, it just occurred to me that they brush file, brush file, and I'm just gonna attach it, and you can tell me whether you get it, and you can go ahead and load it and see what you see while we're here. Make sure you've got.
See how it comes.
Yeah. I gotta stop screen sharing to send it. The screen share thing was in the way. Let's see. There's Barrett. While you're getting that, I was gonna check.
Hey, doing Barrett? Yep, it just came in, Tony. Open it up.
I was checking the comments.
I seen your other email about my battery as well.
Yeah, for a minute I thought it was me. It's kind of funny. But, looks like Barrett was out in the comments. My son, Barrett's got a really cool channel, and he's doing really well with his channel. He's cool. And Dan from Florida. Sorry if I missed hope I didn't miss your comment there. Just send me an email at tony@atdrafting.com. I can help you out. And
he's really good.
No,
really good.
Well, I probably talk too much when I'm trying to teach somebody, but it's just because I'm having a lot of fun, and I probably should be quiet more often. But let me go. Let's see. I'm going to click on your screen. Let's see, am I screen sharing? Yeah. Okay, so I'm on. Do you want to pull that file in and see how it looks?
Can you see my screen, Tony? Oh, it's loading now.
Yeah.
I think it's loading.
Okay.
What should it say? It's not responding. It's a read only file.
Read only.
Probably because I didn't download it. I put it from my email.
Hold on. See, that's why I wanted to double check. Why would it say? Let's see. Save as. SKP. I thought I might have accidentally saved it as an STL file, but I didn't. Let's see. Save.
Well, no, I'm able to create.
What's that?
Geometry on it. So.
Oh, it came in. Yeah.
Yeah, I can turn off.
Save it. You know what it might be? It might be because you're in the trial.
Okay.
Save it as something else on your own computer, and then see if you can go back into it and edit it. That's not very nice of them to do. If they're not allowed to open up other files.
It seems like I can turn off things in the outliner tray. Let's see if I can delete something.
Turn off the outliner tray itself. I'm just kidding. I hate that thing. Well, I think you're going to have to save it as another file name and then reopen it under and see if that works. Uh-oh. Now it's saying you have connectivity issues. Is anybody out in the comment section? If you're there, leave me a question, comment. Did Marcus leave us? Are you still there, Marcus? Okay, well, we'll end it here.
Author.
Oh, you there? Okay. Well, we'll end this live. I'm going to end the live stream here. Oh, well, there's okay. There's McDale. I won't end since I know you're there. I think Marcus was having some connectivity issues. Oh, they were back. Cool.
Yeah. I was talking to you, and I clicked on the screen, and it said connection.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's
Thought maybe it was
the server is set to peer, so it's based on your internet connection. And my like if I have trouble, it'll be my end, but the server's set up to not share the total resources of the server because, and then this is a long explanation, that because if I have 10 people in here, if we had like 20 people, it would crash the server. So it's set to a certain setting. So unfortunately, that means sometimes that in your particular area, if they're having troubles, then we'll see the trouble. But anyway, were you able to save it as a different file and then bring it back?
Yes, I'm gonna import it, and it worked perfectly.
Okay, good. Because I had a feeling that if it thought it was something that you created on your own computer, that it would let you work with it. But it's probably not letting you import files from other people. You know what I mean? I don't know if it has something to do with free trial or something. They don't want you using it commercially.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The same thing.
Yeah,
they consider it becoming a commercial use instead of
right. Like maybe you're a consultant and you're working for somebody and you're trading files back and forth. They're trying to prevent that kind of thing with a free trial. I don't know. That's a theory. But if you don't mind, we'll end it here. And if you want to play around with it, and then the next time we get together, we can, maybe I can help more during that period, and I won't have. After I get this one project done, I'll have more free time on Sundays.
That's great, Tony. I take all the time you're willing to give.
Well, again, I enjoy this more, honestly, than doing the real work, because, I've been doing it for so long, it gets tedious after a certain number of years. But this kind of stuff is fun. So
trying different things. And
the other thing is, too, is if you can't find a company there in your area, I don't know what state you live in or what area you live in.
Michigan.
If you can't find a local company that would do we've got several here in town that do 3D printing, prototyping. If you can't find somebody, let me know. I'll help you out with it once you get it drawn. But I guess that's kind of getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I live ahead of myself. Like the way you think.
I wonder though, if you're going to print this thing, you would want to print the. Are you going to try to print the brushes or just print like the layout? Or I'm thinking the ABS plastic is not like if let's say one of those bristles was like a 1/16 of an inch and it was 2 inches long, that would be very difficult to 3D print.
Could I 3D print just the base itself and then have the bristles tuft? Tuft is the term for placing bristles into a base. Or what do you?
Yeah, what you could do is tell the manufacturer that this little circle this little 1/8 inch diameter is what, the center of a group? Is it like a center of a group of bristles? Like there's more than one bristle there, right?
Just yeah, like a group of a handful of bristles, kind of like a to create the brush look.
Yeah, and that would be easy to 3D print. Just what we drew would be easy to print. Yeah. But I've seen people like try to draw or try to print little like antenna on little vehicles and stuff, and they break off easy, So
Yes. So it'd probably be easier just for me to 3D print the base itself, and then kind of tell the manufacturer that these holes are for bristles and
right,
etc.
right, and then yeah, and before I would say send it to China and have it done, but now I'm kind of mad at China, so I'm just kidding.
We all on the same page.
Just kidding. All right. Well, thanks, Marcus. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. When do you think you want to get together again?
If you're free this week or if you're free this weekend, I'm stuck at home, so I'm trying to learn as much as I can.
Okay. Well, we can. Maybe in the middle of the week. I think I should have some time like Wednesday or Thursday, and then of course weekends always. So I'll send you an email about the middle of the week.
Okay, that's perfect, Tony.
All right. Well, thanks, Marcus.
Thank you. Enjoy it.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
See ya.